What's up, you guys? Listen, we are here to talk the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 4 reunion part 2. Now, let me say this before we get into the things of the things. I don't know what's going on with my DVR, but it did not pick up the show. So usually I start watching the show about 10 or 15 minutes in so I can fast forward through all of the commercials and still be done at the end. So when I went to go tune in, it wasn't in my DVR. So I had a choice that I could either go ahead and do the live knowing that I missed the first 10 minutes or wait until it came back on again and did it. So I decided to go ahead and go with the live because I got the majority of it. I missed the first 10 minutes. I feel like the first 10 minutes they were talking about Monica and her mom and her relationship with her mom, because I know they have to go through the whole like package and show you all the clips of Monica arguing with her mom and all of that. So I don't know what I missed at the very, very beginning. So my apologies for that. You can always drop it in the chat and let me know if it was something major that I missed. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the things of the things. So it looks like like I said, I picked up with them talking about Monica and her relationship with her mother. Now, let me just say this to you guys. We know that the bulk of what we want to talk about is going to come on next week. So we'll get into a few. This week, they gave us Mary Cosby. So I figured, they thought that was, giving us something good was Mary Cosby. But last week, I gave Monica credit, right? Last week, I gave Monica credit for holding her own. I gave Monica credit for standing in the pit and she threw some zingers. You know what I mean? Like I did. I gave her credit for all of that. This week, Monica just came off as a liar. I mean, y'all tell me if y'all, I know that we have people that are team Monica and we have people that are team everybody else and team Heather. I try to look at it, take it individually one by one. But honestly, last week I gave Monica a lot of credit. I said, she was ready. I think she was best dressed at the reunion. I like her dress. The person that made Monica's dress is the same guy that made Jen Shah's dress season 1, that the infamous video of her cussing him out, Koa. Koa made Monica's dress. And I think it's beautiful. I think she looks like a little Tinkerbell. I think she looks gorgeous. If y'all are talking in the chat, I can't see it. I know it's not a lot of people here, but I don't see anybody saying anything. But tonight, honestly, Monica just came off as a liar to me. Like everything, it just sounded like she was making excuses. Because, Monica has this thing that works for her where she just owns it, right? Yeah, I said it, and yeah, I did it, and yeah, it was me, and. But today, like some of the stuff that came up tonight, I was like, all right now, Monica, now you're just coming off. Okay, let me give you some examples. So y'all will be like, what are you talking about, Really B? What do you mean? So they had the relationship between Monica and her mom. And she said that her mom said something to the effect of she was hoping that Monica wouldn't get on the show so then she could get on the show. Here comes trouble. Here this is about to be a whole situation. It's about to be a whole situation. Here's my boo. And he is a Monica stan.
Black by popular demand.
Hey, Busy.
What's up, y'all? Y'all miss me? I miss y'all. I miss you. You been enjoying the weather today? Because I have.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I saw y'all out in the weather. I saw y'all had a snowball fight and everything.
We did.
I said, y'all are so coupley and be doing couple shit.
I'm really a little kid and I want to just have fun, and I don't see how parents do it because sometimes I want kids, but then also I've been honest with myself that then I won't have enough time with you, so I don't want to do it.
Hey, so Dad, what's up?
We literally were on the phone the whole time. So me and Dad, we watched the show together because my partner and I maybe I should be a little bit more quiet, but he's doing game night. He plays Dungeons and Dragons. So I had nobody
to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I have nobody to watch the show with. So I was trying to figure out like, oh, who do I watch the show with?
Oh,
So
so
then
Deb,
me and
so Deb, you
Sodeb
want the
watched it.
link?
Oh yeah, Sodeb. Yeah, give Sodeb the
If you
link.
want,
Me and
if you want the send him the link. Busy.
yeah, I'll send it to him.
I
Me
don't
and
have any.
Sodeb.
I don't have his contact information. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you want to come on up. So Deb.
We watched the show together, and every time it was a break, we got on the phone and talked about what was going on.
Okay, well, come on through. You know, I gotta. I know. So I want you to be now busy. I know you are a Monica fan, but I want you to be fair.
Wait! Oh wait! Oh, okay.
Wait.
Okay, no, okay, no. Let me hear you out. Go ahead.
Okay,
So,
Deb said no. He said he just gonna watch. He said he just gonna watch. Okay.
okay,
Well, if you want to if you ever want to chime in, just let me know. What I mean by it is this. Okay, so here's my stand on Monica, because I already know you already told me how you feel.
mm-hmm,
I don't want to speak for you, so if I'm wrong, correct me. But here's
mm-hmm.
my stand on Monica. I think Monica saved this season.
Dead.
I cannot take that away. Monica definitely, like, if Monica had not been on this season, it would have been a dud. I just believe that. However, comma,
Yes.
that doesn't take away, for me, that doesn't take away the fact that I believe that Monica is exactly what Monica is, a troll. Now, do I think she was doing it by herself? No, I think her and her little group of friends got together and they did what they did. I also think Bravo knew exactly who she was when they casted her. I don't think Monica pulled one over on Bravo. Bravo knew exactly who Monica was. And I think this is my take on it. Last week, I was like, yes, Monica, you gave it to him, girl. You showed up, you looked good, you stood in it, and you was throwing those zingers. I was like, yes.
She looked
But
good.
tonight,
Came in good. They
yeah,
give her
but
a
tonight,
great edit.
I feel like Monica came off as I didn't believe nothing that came out of Monica's mouth tonight. Nothing.
I firmly disagree.
I know.
I firmly disagree. I feel like Monica told the truth about everything that was going on, and she can get it. And
Everything.
yeah, I feel like Monica is a
Even
gay
her
black.
4 names, women, even the 4 names.
Yeah, that makes sense. Only because I have someone that I know who's going through that. I firmly believe everything that she was saying. I believe that Monica is a gay black male, and she's gonna read you. She's a bottom. She's gonna read you for filth. She's gonna give it to you, and she's gonna be honest. There's no reason to lie. I feel like Monica is the person who's giving us like the truth and the life. And I'm sorry, I will. Let's get through the
Okay,
episode.
listen. Okay, you're not the only one. I mean, I know that you're not the only one. So that's where I stand with Monica. So the first
Let me
package,
make
I was
sure I
just
share this
explaining.
because I want the people to be here when we have to drag you. Yeah, I need some people on my side.
So Deb is on your side. He said he believed the
No,
name.
I can't have him be the only one. He's not strong enough.
Oh, you heard. So Deb, you heard what your friend said about you. Exactly, Phil. Phil, me and you on this now. Me and Phil usually ain't on the same side, but me and Phil, we right here tonight. We are right here tonight.
The names are fake, Phil. What do you mean the names are fake? It's her mother, her adopted person, and her father. Like the names are real.
You don't get to choose what names. You don't get to do that. Like she was like, oh, that's my father's surname. The father that you don't know, the father that you ain't never met, the father that you don't even have a picture of.
Yeah, but you don't get to pick that. You don't get to pick that. Really, you don't get to pick that. You do not get to pick that.
You remember Columbia House?
Yes.
But you could order get this. I had 10 of them accounts. Okay. I had 10 of them accounts. Okay. I used a different name and I just kept ordering over and over again. And I would use the different names of the people in my family, everybody's maiden name, married name. Okay. That is what she did. How you just gonna
You
take your daddy
don't
name? You
get
don't know that
to pick
man.
that. And I think that there is prevalence in the fact that Heather, who tried to out her as a scammer on the internet, was at least kind to her when she was like, well, no, she did. We did talk about how she had to process the different names she was going through. Because I have a friend, and her daughter live with us, who's gone through multiple names because it was like, okay, do I use my adopted name? Do I use my surname? Do I use like this new name that I'm doing with my
That's a totally different
my
situation.
partner? No,
Monica decided
that's what Monica
she
was
could change up
saying.
names. That's not what Monica was saying.
Her mother went through trauma and she didn't know what name to have, and then she put that trauma onto her daughter, and then her daughter was trying to figure out, well, then what's my identity, because I'm identifying from the trauma that you put on me, so then whose name do I use? And I feel like
Okay, well,
maybe,
explain this to me. Why did she use 3 different names at Beauty Lab?
oh, that girl, I don't know, that girl,
Okay.
no, that part
Okay.
I can't explain. I'm not going to Monica. I cannot defend you on that one, girl. I love you down. That one I cannot explain, but I can see her going through an identity crisis from name to name to name, because I have friends who they've been adopted and then they wanted their family name, and then they went to their adopted person's name, and then they went to like their family name again or whatever. Like I know people who've done that. So her explained it going from name to name to name did not change my opinion of her, because
So,
I
if it
know
had been a
someone who's done it.
situation where we were talking about different times in her life, that would be I would probably, I ain't gonna say I would walk all the way down that road with you, but I'd walk about halfway. But when Heather was like she had 3 different names at Beauty Lab, that's when I was like, okay, that's a different conversation. But okay, let's get into what happened.
But
Let's
Heather
get into
also
what happened.
didn't look at her and say, "You're a liar." And I want to make sure that everybody sees that clear, because we're looking at Heather as a truth teller and Monica as the liar. But Heather didn't
No,
look at
no, no.
her and yell at her about it. She was like, "No, I understand what she's going through." So if we're going to look at Heather as the truth teller, Heather did say, even on this reunion tonight, no, she did talk about how she's going through this
Well,
process.
let me say this. Okay, here's the thing about Heather. I used to be a Heather fan. Like, I really did used to like Heather. I have stopped. Well, I don't want to go too far back because then we go way left. But I've been up and down with Heather. Here's my issue with the Heather situation right now. I have a really big issue with you picking and choosing who you gonna be mad at.
Oh,
So
tell it right
if
now, Ruby.
you if I find out that you did something to me, and then in me unveiling what you did to me, I find out that So Deb was involved. I find out that Scotty was involved. I find out that, and then I say, well, wait a minute, I'm gonna still be cool with Scotty. And whatever Scotty tells me, I'm gonna believe. Everybody else, F y'all. See, that I have the problem with. I have a problem with the fact that we know that Tanisha, you were involved, baby boo. Now, maybe you walked away. Maybe you walked away, but you were involved. So the problem I have is now you're choosing to focus all of that anger at Monica instead of the whole collective. That part I do have a problem with.
I had this
I do.
same conversation seriously before I got on here with Sodeb, because I was telling him why everybody mad at Monica, but I don't know if Tanisha could do a mean cat
Everybody
eye.
coming in. Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah, I don't know if Tanisha could do a mean cat eye or what's going on, but why we all mad at Monica? But she's been very vocal about, girl, it was a lot of us, including the women who told you that stuff. So don't try
And that's
to,
all the more reason
everything
why I
can't be on
believe,
me.
right. And that's all the more reason why I believe that production knew. I do understand that
You
Monica's the
think
one
they
that
really,
actually was.
do you think they knew?
I do.
Okay.
Let me tell you why I think production knew. I believe that production knew because Jen Shaw knew.
That's true. That's Jen Shaw did know.
Jen Shaw not only did Jen Shaw know, Jen Shaw served Monica with a cease and desist.
How do you?
So so the reason why I say that, for me, let's think about who Jen Shaw is. Remember last season, part of Jen Shaw's storyline was exposing a troll account of Angie, not Angie K, but the other Angie, her husband. Remember? They had a
Mhm.
whole troll account and they were trolling her. I do not believe that Jen knew about this whole other troll account. She sent out a whole cease and desist, and she never told production. I don't now. It could be, I could be wrong, but I don't believe it. You see what that's why I believe
Yeah.
that production knew. Because also too, and no disrespect, Monica, but the other reason why I believe that production knew is because they hired you for exactly what you're giving them right now, right?
Everything.
Because you're not going to sit here and tell me that they couldn't find another wealthy person in Salt Lake City to play the role and be a housewife. Like, I'm sure they had people waiting in the wings to take Jen Shaw's spot. But you pick wrong side of the tracks, excommunicated from the Mormon church, has this sordid past, and has no money, and that's who's your new housewife? Yeah. Mm-mm.
I'm sorry, but that whole couch, I'm standing like that whole couch. I like those are my faves. Monica,
Ooh.
Meredith, Whitney.
Oh my gosh. How are we friends? I cannot stand Whitney.
I love her.
I can't stand Whitney.
I feel like
And
she's
I'm gonna tell you why I can't
misunderstood.
stand Whitney.
What?
Whitney is a self-righteous ass. I cannot stand Whitney.
I don't think she's self-righteous. I do think she's selfish.
Oh,
I
I
don't
think
think
she's both. I think she's both. And
you
the
think
reason
she's
when I
self-righteous.
say self-righteous, because she does, like, for example, let's use that whole fight they had in Bermuda about
Yes,
the book. First of
right,
all, you didn't read. First of all, you don't read the book, right?
right.
You read the book, and it is, let's just, I ain't read the book, but let's just say it's 250 pages.
Mhm.
You pick out the 3 pages that talk about you,
Yes,
and that is your issue. Now, wait a minute, hold on. I would have been with her until we found out that, one, you knew the story that Heather was telling. Number two, Heather let you read the section and edit, and they put the edits in. Number three, at the time, Heather was a boudoir photographer, and she was speaking about her experience as a boudoir photographer because that's a job she took after her divorce.
right.
You took that and turned it into, you were shaming me about my sexuality. Bitch, what you talking about?
I get what she's talking about. I feel like she was dramatic about it, but you're a boudoir photographer. That's why I asked you to photograph me and my husband. I think Whitney is still dealing with some of the shame that she's gotten from her and her husband and that paint thing and how he lost his job or whatever. And the sexuality and all of that stuff that came across. But don't you then try to look at somebody else and shame them and like, girl, this is your job. You use my marriage in your book as
But she didn't
one.
shame her. She was talking about the picture. She didn't shame her.
I guess
Did you?
if I was on the other side, like if I was taking pictures of you, and then I said in the book later, yeah, I got really beat from the rooter to the tutor, and I was able to photograph her booty hole to her pee. You wouldn't feel some type of way.
But Whitney knew the book has been out for a year. Whitney knew about it.
Yeah, she knew about it. I don't think she wasn't saying that it was
Okay,
a
so then that's
surprise.
my point. Like,
I think she was saying, girl, how you mad at this when you utilize mine?
but she wasn't mad. Okay. I understood. I'm not going to sit here and have a conversation. Unlike Mary, which we're going to get back to the reunion, but
Yeah.
unlike Mary, I am not getting ready to sit here and discuss my child's sex life. So when Monica was it was one thing when she asked Heather. Now that I was with
Mhm.
y'all on about that when it was about Heather, because Heather, you didn't have no problem sexualizing black men them first 2 seasons when you was flirting with the black man and talking about how big he was, and you ain't have no problem. That's when I started going left with Heather a little bit, because I felt like it was a little sexualizing of the black man, but I don't want to go down that road. But so that part I was with y'all on. But when it was about her daughter, I was like, okay, now Monica, no.
I don't think so. When Monica asked those questions, because her daughters are like coming of age, like girl, I'm a whore. Your cousin is. Are you talking to them about this? I hope you're communicating with them about this. We just saw a scene on Married to Medicine where they put condoms all over the thing, all over the thing. So I
I
don't.
had a problem with that.
Oh, you
I talked
did?
about that in my review. I had a problem with that.
I didn't watch that review
Because
yet.
if you had 2 daughters if you were moving your 2 daughters into their own apartment, would you have done that with 2 girls? No, you wouldn't have done
Yes,
that.
I sure
No, you
wouldn't. First of all, I wouldn't have put them everywhere, but there would have been a huge box, and I would have glued it right on it. I would have glued it. That's the type of daddy I am. My daughters are gonna hate me. I would have glued it right where when you walk in the door, right there, right there, to let you know that this is what you need to do. And I would have glued another one in the bedroom because sexual health is important. But I think that's because I was raised by a nurse. So she was always like, sexual health was something that was always talked about in the house. You better make sure you don't do this. You better make sure you do this. You better make sure you have a condom on. You better make sure, like, I had to learn about herpes and HPV. I had to learn about everything before I was even touching anyone. And it was because that's what she thought. So her daughter's old enough where I would have felt like, and maybe Monica's having these conversations with her daughter. I don't know. Do you have nieces that you talk to and be like, yo, so girl, if you doing this, you make sure you da da da. Like,
So
who's having this
it's funny
conversation?
because my niece literally just came into the chat. She
Oh,
literally just walked in the chat. But you know what's funny? I don't think me and my niece have ever had the sex conversation. Like when she was in college, like I don't think we ever did. Like I've talked to her about who she's dating and if she like we've talked about that, but I have never asked her personal questions about her sex life. I honestly haven't. That I can think
you
of.
gotta know
Nay,
she
have I ever asked you about your sex life? I don't think
not
so.
on the internet. Not on
As
the
far as
internet.
listen, as far as I'm concerned, she's a virgin. So I don't know.
But you have to be open and honest about it and saying things. And then I feel like in the group, and that maybe it's because me and my friends we're very open with each other. Especially my Howard group of friends. No, I guess my Howard group of friends and my high school group of friends. And they're all women, except for me. We're very open with each other. Like,
But that's
oh
us talking
no,
to
I
each
know we're
other.
talking about stuff. We just had my child. I found a condom in his room. And now we got to talk about it. So I don't think it was weird for Monica to be like, well,
Now, what's
girl,
funny is
you talk
so
to your daughter?
my niece just wrote in the chat. When I was in college, I went to see Grandma Branch. That was at the hospital one time, and she just told me not to get pregnant. So that's my grandmother.
Yeah.
She's passed away now. But when I was in college, it's funny. When I was in college, she would send me cards, and like she would just put little messages, little scripture, whatever. And she would always say, if you can't be good, be safe. And she would send me condoms.
Oh.
My grandmother would actually send me condoms. Yes. She's like, if you can't be good, be safe. But
So
I
then
say
why
all
is
that
it
to
weird
say
to
this.
talk about it? Like, hey,
Here's the thing
Heather,
though.
have you had
So
that
let me say
conversation
this.
with your daughter?
So I say all this to say that I think we're getting away from the conversation. I am not going to so let's just say, for example, me and my niece, let's say we did have these deep conversations and I talked to her about sex and I knew she was sexually active and maybe even I took her to the doctor to get on birth control. Like, let's say we did. I mean, me and my niece are close. I don't know, we've just never had that conversation. But anyway, let's say we did all of those. Wait a minute, let's say we did all of those things.
Right.
I would never have that conversation with one of my friends, much less on camera. I would never discuss my niece's sex life with a group of friends. I just wouldn't do it.
I think where Monica was coming from is that she only has daughters. And she's like, so have you talked about that with them? Like, what did you say? How did
That's not what Monica said. No, Monica, no. See,
you talked about
the goalpost.
Have you talked about them having sex?
Goalpost. That's not what Monica said. Monica said, "Is she having sex?" That is what Monica said.
So then I can understand.
Why would I answer that? Why would I answer that question about my daughter's sex?
Why would I answer that question?
Why would I have that? Why would I have that conversation?
Yes, that's weird. But I think as a mother of only daughters and a young mother at that, I don't think it's uncommon. Like, is your daughter having sex?
If Monica had said to Heather, you know what? We both have girls, and your daughters are older, a couple of years older than mine.
Yeah, and I'm getting sick.
Right, and like, oh my gosh, they are starting to smell themselves, baby. I need some help. Can you help me? I think it might be time for me to talk to them about sex. Can you what did you do? How did you talk to? Like, those are two totally different conversations.
Maybe that, her delivery was probably wrong.
To talk to her about sexual health. Monica was trying to gossip. So is she having sex? She's at college. Is she having sex? Like, maybe is what Monica
her delivery was wrong. I think I'm getting where Monica's coming from. Like, girl,
because you want to be, because that's what you do. Let's
get to the reunion.
Oh, thank you, Father Bird, for becoming a member. Thank you, my love. Welcome.
I hope you get everything you want from this membership, girl.
Monica and her mother's relationship. I'm gonna tell you. I said this during the season. I think it's bogus. I think it was a plan set up by Todd to come to us with the bullshit. I don't think that Monica. Don't get me wrong. I think Monica and her mother's relationship is toxic. I absolutely believe that. But I also believe that Monica's mother was playing the part to give Monica that friction for the show. I believe
that. I hear that. Girl, I don't know why you invited me, girl. I've had a volatile relationship with my father, and my father is Monica's mom. And
right, I believe they're toxic. Let's be clear.
He will gaslight me to make me feel like things are not what the things are, and I should be doing things like even the stuff that came out on social media about Monica and her mom's relationship. Like, it is so reminiscent of my paternal, my dad, and I can't stand that man. I cannot stand him. And her mother reminds me of everything about it. And my dad comes back, and he should be coming back soon because taxes are due, and he doesn't want to do any of that. He is very similar. He will gaslight you. He'll make you feel away. He'll tell you, oh, this is me, and I should have been da. When she said that they prayed together after Monica was scared about if she was going to make it on the show, and then her mother said, well, if it's not her, make it be me. My dad would do that. That man is a psycho. He is a psycho. Thank God I was raised by my mother and my mother alone. That man is a psycho. And so I believed her. I believed her 100%. 150%. My dad has never paid child support ever. Well, no, that's not true. Ever. He's paid it in small increments. And he links up with me every part of the new year to see if what are you, because in New York you have to pay back child support, and he doesn't want to pay back child support. And every new year he contacts me and he loves bomb me as a dad so that he can figure out a way to not have to pay it. And my
Wow.
mother did everything for me. You owe. She helped me for my 2 years of college, and then she paid through for everything as I was a kid. And then when I talked to him, he's like, "Well, I think your mom's being unreasonable, and I really do love you, and I'm trying my best." And he's taking care of kids, several, just not me. And then
Just not you.
when we have these conversations, it just gets over and over and over and over again of, well, you're being ridiculous, and I don't, because I think there's 4 of us who he hasn't taken care of, and he's been able to convince those kids to get their moms to sign a waiver or a paper or something like that, where then he doesn't have to pay back child support. And I always say, my mom deserved every penny she spent on me, and you're gonna pay that back to her because you helped to make me, and it's not gonna change. And then he is Monica's mom. Well, it's not that serious, and you need to calm down, and well, you need to change. And like, some parents are just crazy. They're just crazy. And I believe everything that Monica was saying about her mother, because I have a parent who is exactly the same. My daddy is unhinged. And if he can just come to me to say, well, make sure I don't have to pay anything, and you need to pay. He wants to brag about me going to Howard, but he doesn't want to pay any money for me doing it. Like, you're unhinged. You're a psycho. And then his side of the family reaches out to me and was like, oh my God, you graduated, you're in the news, your daddy was talking about all this stuff. Girl, but you didn't help. But you were trying to take credit. That's my mama's job. My mama did all of this stuff. This is my mama work. Sometimes we have parents who are just, they don't get it. And listening to Monica's mom, even on outside of the show, on some of the clips or the things that have been showcased or the things that have been released, her mother is unhinged. And
That's what I'm
I
saying.
get it.
Like I said, I think Audrey Moore's comment probably sums up exactly how I feel about the situation. I believe that Monica's mother is toxic, but I also believe that Monica is toxic. And maybe it's a situation of she's learning what she
From her
lived
mom.
from
Yeah.
her mom. But I absolutely believe that Monica is toxic. Let's get back to this reunion, child. Okay. So that's the first thing. So then we found out that
Addict
Whitney
vibe, Shay. I don't think she's an addict now.
I think her mother may be an addict, but not an addict of like substance. I think an addict of maybe attention. I think
She likes drama.
Yeah, I think there's a spirit of jealousy there with Monica. I do.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. We found out that Whitney and her mom are in a better place. We found out that Heather and her mom are still basically happy birthday, Merry Christmas. Whitney is still not speaking to her dad. I'm gonna tell you what I think. For those of you who've been watching this since season 1, we remember Whitney's dad on season 1. He was an addict. She was trying to help him out. He was like this big time salon hairstylist, and he kind of blew it, getting addicted to drugs. Yeah. Remember last season when when Whitney said that she uncovered a family member in this trauma, and she bonded with her half brother who went through the same thing? I think it was her father. And this is my opinion, y'all, because going back to some of the things that she said last season, who would Whitney have been with, and her brother? Who do they have in common? That's her half brother. That is not her whole brother. Yeah. So who did they have in common? Her father. So if both of them were abused by the same family member, and Whitney said that she cannot allow her father back in her life. I'm not saying it is her father, but I believe either it's her father, or she feels like her father allowed it to happen or knew about it and didn't stop it. Like, she has connected her father to whatever this trauma is that she has she's discovered. That's my opinion. Because
Man, I
tonight it
agree.
sounds like the door is firmly closed with her father. And she was like,
Oh, for
I
sure.
cannot allow him back into my life.
For sure. I agree. I agree.
Okay. We found out, well, we knew Monica had fallen down the steps. They showed us the footage of Monica falling down the steps after her and her mom. Can I tell you that Angie K annoys me and I need her to go.
Me too.
She's she is like the Pomeranian nipping at your ankles. Like she is that.
She's that dog. You know that
Yes.
that boy who does that clap, and the dog is always on his ankle on the internet. He's viral.
She
That's how
annoys
Angie
me.
Kane is, and I
Right.
cannot stand it. She's a flip flopper. She reminds me
It's
of, and
so
I was
irritating.
saying this earlier. She reminds me of Cynthia Bailey, where it was just like, what side you gonna be on, girl? Pick a side, sis. You got to pick a side, sis. No, Cynthia Bailey's earlier seasons, but you got to pick a side, and she's frustrating to me. And I think what's frustrating to me, and I guess I gotta wait for the reviews to come out because the show just went off, and now we're talking about it. But Bravo's showing y'all the stuff, and I feel like still people gonna be like Monica a liar. She didn't fall
I do think
down.
Monica's a liar. I do think Monica's a liar.
She literally felt that we watched everything happen, and then Angie K was like, "No," and then a child almost was hurt. We just watched the whole scene. She said, Monica sat there embarrassed. Really, I really felt like she sat there embarrassed. She looked up at the camera like, "Why y'all here?"
Everybody would have been embarrassed. Like, you're filming, cameras are following you, you're mad, whatever happened. Like, we know they have been arguing. Literally, you fall down the steps. Absolutely, she was embarrassed. I would have been embarrassed too.
So then Angie K saying, "No, you threw a shoe, or one of the shoe almost hit one of the kids." And
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying she's
no.
annoying. She's annoying AF, and I agree with you 100%. Now, here's the thing. I'm asking you, Dizzy. I am in no way, shape, or form indicting anyone. But just send me a wink, wink. No, don't tell me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What you think about Angie K's husband?
I feel like if I wanted to bend him over, I could.
I feel the same way. Moving on.
There we go.
So, and Angie, that's not the first time you heard those rumors. Now, Monica bringing it to the show, it is what it is. But that is not the first time that y'all have heard
That
those
she
rumors.
heard that show. Yeah, exactly.
And let me tell you something. He told himself in that scene with him and Angie K, when she told him about it and he started crying, he told on himself. Because let me tell you something. And this is no disrespect to any gay man.
Oh, I want to know if you think exactly what I think. But go ahead.
If I came to my husband and said, "Oh my goodness, this woman is spreading rumors about you being gay," your reaction would not be, "I don't even care about the gay rumors. I just care that my daughter would think that I would cheat on you." You got to be kidding. As soon as he said that, I said, "Oh, well, you just ding, 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 ding."
That's what I thought.
Come on now.
He would,
and there's nothing wrong with being gay. That's not even the point.
Being caught by his daughter. His tears were, my daughters are going to see this. Not whether or not I'm getting, bust down. Okay. His tears were, well, I have a daughter and she's going to see this soon. But his tears were not about, she said, I was what? She said, I did what? And I'm gay? She didn't say none of that. He didn't say none of that.
Heterosexual man would be more upset over, I think my daughter's gonna think I'm a cheater versus my daughter's gonna think that I'm running around here. Like, come stop it.
I mean, he fine though, so if he wanted it, he could get it.
Oh, so Debonair said he
Angie husband, if you do want it, I won't tell nobody.
You're my little secret.
Not escape. Not escape. Not escape. But if you do want it, you could get it. And I promise you, I won't tell nobody. I saw you about it. I promise you, I'll treat you.
And
Oh,
let me
I'll treat
tell
you
you
like a
something
princess.
about Monica.
I'll be so
Monica
sentimental with you.
has absolutely no problem throwing people under the damn bus. Because, baby, did Monica not turn around to Meredith and say, well, Meredith said if I wanted to, I could have your house.
You know what? I think that, and this is why. So I don't know. Did you see that? The only people who like refollowed Monica was Meredith and Whitney. Did you see that online?
I didn't. I wasn't paying attention
Yeah,
to follow
so
who. I
those
didn't
are
know. I didn't.
the only two people who follow her. So did you wait a second? Did you see the video of then her mother talking to her about
Yeah, I saw that
the
video of them yelling at. Yeah,
uh,
I saw that. Yeah, I
or
saw that video.
yeah,
But
but
that's
those
why I
are
said, like, I believe her mother is toxic. Trust me when I tell you that.
yeah, she's a psycho.
But I also believe that. also believe that
Monica's a psycho because of
that
the
was
trauma
supposed
that
to be
she has
Monica.
from her mother.
Yeah. So, now I think a lot of people forget that Meredith is an attorney. I think people forget that Meredith is an attorney. So it makes sense that Meredith.
I forgot.
Oh, you didn't know that? Meredith is an
No.
attorney. Yes. So it made sense that Meredith and Monica had that conversation before they fell out. Remember, at one point, Meredith and Monica were getting really cool. So it makes sense that Meredith would have had that conversation with Monica about, well, you know, she's liable and you know her homeowner's insurance and da 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 da. Like, I could see them having that conversation.
You want to go there about husbands? Rubies and nastiness. I love that for Andy.
So then we already talked about the names. I'm not going to go through that again. We didn't talk about the names. I'm just going through my notes. A lot about lawsuits said not paying Heather. Oh, remember when they got to arguing? She was like, I've never sued anybody. I've never sued one person. And Heather was like, girl, you suing me.
Yeah, I'm counter suing you.
But it's still a lawsuit.
That's semantics. That could be semantics. But girl, I'm not out here suing people. I'm not out here suing. You think that a person who y'all are claiming is going around and doing burner accounts on Instagram is actively suing people? Girl, I'm counter suing you. Don't try to make it seem like I'm out here suing people. I'm responding.
Well, why she ain't? Well, they said it. So Lisa said, "Just pay your bill, baby." Why she said no?
Yeah, because it won't do it. Will not. Will not.
Why she won't pay that bill? Why she won't pay that bill?
Your business is not good, and then you outed me on this show.
Busy. Why she won't pay that bill?
From what I saw, though, it did seem like she got bad work. I'm sorry. When she openly put it on Instagram and on Twitter, it looked like she got bad work. And then also, you treated me like trash on this show. So I'm not going to give you no money. And that's how I feel about that. And sue me if you want to. And then I'll counter sue you with the bad work that you did. But that's it. Like, I'm 10 toes down with Monica.
Oh! You see what Black Empress said? I wouldn't.
Well, oh no, Black Empress, you took her out. Yo, let me tell you something. Now that I got the room, because she kicked herself out by mistake. Monica's the GOAT. And y'all need to lay off on her. Okay, I know y'all mad. I know y'all upset. You may be a little delirious. You may be upset about it. You may cry. And I get that. But y'all, let's come together. Oh man, she's back.
I done left you by yourself.
Oh, I talked so much. I was giving a speech. I was giving a speech. Put me back on so I can finish what I was saying. You leave for a second.
Because I don't even. I'm nervous Monica about what you were saying. What you saying to the people? I'm nervous about what you were saying to people.
All I was saying is,
what we saying to the people?
I'm not saying that Monica is a saint, and I'm not saying I was doing the Monica campaign. I'm not saying Monica's a saint, and I'm not saying that Monica didn't do anything wrong, and that the other women should not feel like they are afraid to film with her. But one girl got busted in the face by the girl and protected her. Okay. A whole lot of other people got scammed out of tons of money. The lady is now in jail. The person y'all mad at worked under her and took it and said, I'm done with this. Let's put this lady in jail. And I think she's a little bit more admirable, and forthcoming than a lady who 2 seasons later is like, and I stood by her when she gave me a black eye. Girl, so we believe in you? 2 years later?
Well, listen, I got some words for
that season was last season, but it was filmed last year. 2 years later. 2 years later. So we supposed to believe you? And now we mad at that woman who came on here. And I'm just like you. Because if ReallyBTV, who probably talked about a lot of these people, finally got on the show, I'll be supporting her. And then I don't want them to be like, you're ReallyBTV. And it's coming. Okay. So is that the thing? Well, we didn't like what you were saying about us. That's your issue. Didn't you get punched in the face? Didn't y'all support this lady who was taking money from a whole lot of elderly people? Didn't you get a black eye? But you mad at me? Like I'm not the villain that y'all trying to make me be. I really am not the villain. And I would support ReallyBTV the whole time that she was on the show. We just found out that you're really me. Okay. And I did say nasty stuff about y'all, and I felt those things, and I posted those things, yes. But didn't that lady punch you in the face? Like, she literally punched you in the face, gave you a black eye. Didn't you literally have a black eye? Isn't she literally in a federal prison? But you mad at me about a burner account? Girl, go. Like, I just don't get I don't get the outrage. I don't get the outrage. And no one's gonna make me believe it in it.
But here's my thing. Why can't it be both? Why can't it be both? Like, I get it. I do feel like, because here's the thing. Heather is really the only person that never really gave it to Jen. And they just, like, made up with Jen, whatever. But they gave it to Jen. The only person that really never wavered was Heather. I understand the anger, though. And I think two things can exist at the same time. I agree that I feel like you got a whole lot of fever for Monica, and Jen literally was like, scamming elderly people out of their life savings. Like, I get it. I definitely get the correlation.
Did that and punch you in the face. Let's not forget that, did that and punched you in the face. And now she's sitting here because she learned you have an Instagram account. Screenshots, receipts, girl. But the lady punched you in the face and you admitted it. Not only did she scam a whole bunch of people out of money, she also punched you in the face. And you're mad because this lady was doing posts about you?
Prophet, don't come in here with that mess. All right, so let's get on to these. We got this last couple of sections because next week is really gonna be the bell of the ball.
Yeah.
We Mary comes out. Let me say this about Mary Cosby. I have a love-hate relationship.
Me too.
I think Mary is hilarious, but I also think Mary is nasty, and I
Something's
think she
going
is
on with your audio.
unnecessarily
Unless it's me.
weird.
Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me.
No, it might be me because my internet has been up with the weather. Who is it in the chat, y'all? Is it both of us? Is it me? Is it busy? It might be me.
Yeah, tell us.
My,
Girl,
my signal is saying it's strong, but
we live in
again,
the same area. Let me change my audio.
Okay, Audrey said the audio is bad, so maybe it's both of us. Hold on. I'm gonna go out and come back in. Hold on, y'all.
All right.
I'm gonna go out.
This gives me a chance to advocate to y'all. Look, I know y'all mad at Monica, and I get it. I understand. Y'all think she's a schemer. She's a scammer. She's a fraudster. She's mean. She had this account, and she was working with all of these people, and she was doing all of this stuff to take down a lady. And she's a fan who got on the show. I get it. Okay? I get it. Understand me. I get it. But look at it this way. Let me put my hat back sideways. Look at it this way. She's a regular. Oh God, she's back.
How does it sound now, y'all?
You sound great.
What did you say about me while I was gone?
Oh, there was nothing about you. I was still campaigning for Monica.
Oh God. Anyway.
I'm a true teller.
So Mary, why Mary mad at Heather? Because she said Heather talked about her house. And Andy was like, so you called her inbred. You don't think that inbred is worse than talking about her house? She was like, no.
I'm gonna.
And that's the thing. I find that shit to be hilarious, but it is so rude all at the same time.
Do you like Mary? Because I don't like her.
I don't. Let me say this. I think Mary is everything that they say Mary is. I think that church is one of those churches. I think she's living off of the people. Like the fact that she called the Mormon church racist, but I think you're one of those people that live off of just one of those people. Whoa. Is it what's wrong?
Oh, it was an echo.
Oh. Do I like Mary? No, I don't. I think Mary's rude, but do I think Mary's funny? Yeah. Is she somebody I would hang out with? No. Do I think she's needed on the show? If you had asked me that last year, I would say, yeah, they need to bring Mary back. But now that they brought Mary back, I'm like, no, we're good. We don't need her. We don't need her.
I agree.
I'll be right back. Go ahead, keep talking.
I feel like everything that Mary said was true. And I think what I loved about, I don't like Mary Cosby. I want to make that clear and true. Don't like her. She's boring and she's just mean. And I don't like people who are mean. I want people who are kind in my life, or at least like if they make mistakes, that's cool. But she's just like mean. She's direct and she's mean, and I don't like it. What I loved about this scene is that she was very honest with the people. Like she was like, I don't like you because you talked about my house and I didn't like what you said about my house. And that's fair. Is it fair to say, well, was it better than an inbred comment? Or I mean, I don't know, because those are not my feelings. But if Mary feels like, yeah, I feel like you saying that my house is ugly was worse than me calling you inbred, then I mean, I guess what it is, what it is. Heather does look a little, she look like, maybe a couple of people in the same family had a couple of things that they did.
Not so debonair, talking about we love Mary.
And so when they got past that, when they talked about when they talked about Mary saying, "Well, I do feel like Whitney is racist," and nobody disagreed, and then
Except
they
for Lisa
asked,
Barlow.
except
Except for
for
Lisa.
Lisa Barlow, and then they asked um Mary, which I think her reason is a little loose. Like, because I personally don't think Lisa Whitney is racist. But when listening to Mary, if her reasoning is what your church says that people of color are going to be beneath the other people and you still follow that, then I guess, girl, you really are. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If the church says, well, white people are up here, and then the people of color, they're going to be servants when they die, and Mary doesn't follow that, and she sees that y'all follow that, then you're racist because you think you're
So,
better,
so,
and then
so let me say this. I really wish that that's a conversation that Mary had broached season 1. I would have
I don't think
loved.
she don't wants to talk to these women.
Well, but listen to what I'm saying though. But listen to what I'm saying. I would have loved her being a member of her leading, being a preacher, minister. I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't know what if it's the preacher or minister or whatever.
I think she's like a first lady, right?
No, she runs the church. Or does
Oh,
her husband? Whatever it was. Anyway, I
yeah, I
would
thought it was her
love to have.
granddaddy who ran the church.
Let me say this though. I would have loved season 1, not now, because of course now I don't want to hear nobody talk about it. But I feel like because that's one of the things that we know, generally speaking. When I say we, maybe not every single person, but we know that Salt Lake City, Utah, is the bedrock of the Mormon Church, and
I did
maybe not
I did
everybody.
not know that.
You didn't know
I
that? Okay,
honestly,
okay.
I would have thought that it was in, and maybe it's because I'm from the East Coast, but I mean, I guess you are too. But I would have thought Pennsylvania was like I only know of a whole lot of Mormons in Pennsylvania. I do not. I didn't. I had no idea
Yeah, John Smith,
that.
he packed up and he moved across. He moved during the westward expansion. He moved the church out to Utah. Okay, part of it is I'm a history teacher, and part of it is I went to Catholic
Uh,
school and we had to learn about other religions. So maybe I know more than than the
yeah.
average person knows. But with that being said, though, that was one of the things when they said they were doing a Salt Lake City version franchise. That was one of the conversations I wanted people to have. And
Okay.
going back to season 1, when Mary made the comments about when they had the conversation about was Mary racist, and Jen tried to come at her, you said you wouldn't stop at the 7-Eleven. I really wish we could have had that conversation, because it is
Mhm.
a valid conversation to have. It's a valid conversation to say, hey, you're a member of a church that up until the 1970s, maybe even the 1980s, Black people really couldn't even be in the temple. So like
Yeah.
I think that that's a conversation that we could have had. But the problem I have is that Mary just threw it out there as a dig. And I think it's deeper than that. Now, I appreciate that Heather and Whitney both said, no, she's right. I appreciate that. But I think it was handled carelessly, and
Well,
it was
Heather
handled.
barely. I mean, sorry, not Heather. Whitney barely wanted to say it. Like Heather
She didn't
had
want
to
to
push
admit
it
it, but
out.
she did. Yeah. Um, she didn't want to admit it, but she did admit
She
it. But
did not.
Heather,
Yeah, she did
and
not want to admit. Like,
yeah,
yes, people of color are under us in this religion. It's like
I don't want
it
religion
was
versus
killing
religion.
her.
No, Tracy, I don't want religion versus religion. But what I do want, or what I would have loved to have seen, was a responsible conversation about it. Not
I can
the
see that,
again.
and that's I agree.
I felt like both of them, in both cases, I feel like Mary's church was used as a dig against her, and I feel like the Mormon church has been used as a pawn in Heather's storyline, and Whitney's storyline, and
Yeah,
Monica's storyline. And everybody has talked about the Mormon church, and yet up until tonight is the first time anybody had a conversation about the racist aspect of the Mormon church.
Sure.
And I personally, as a Black woman, would have wished that that conversation had come up before, and not in the way it was thrown. It was just thrown out there as a dig instead of something that we need to have a conversation about. But again, I know Mary's probably not the person to do it. And,
At all.
you know, I mean, it's reality TV, so I'm not saying that we had to have a the more you know moment. I'm just saying, if you're going to throw it out there, I wish it had been done in a more responsible way. But it's
Do
neither
you
here nor
think she
there.
was being fair? Like I believe her in what she says she feels. I
So
believe
let me
when she
say
says I
this.
feel
Let
like
me say
Whitney
this.
is racist. I don't think that way, but I believe that I don't know what's
I
going on
believe
in
she
my
believes.
community.
Oh yeah, I believe that Mary absolutely believes in her wholeheartedly with her chest. I believe she believes that Heather is a racist.
Come on, Chuck.
So what I do believe is this. I believe that Mary has seen more than we've seen.
Mhm.
So maybe she has seen things that would lead her to believe. We know we had the other lady on there who turned out to be a whole racist. Um, we know that the other Angie, the one that husband had the burner account, we know
Yes,
that her wasn't it her son or somebody was at the Capitol on January the 6th.
not
Somebody
January,
on the show is connected to somebody who was at the Capitol on January the 6th.
not January 6th. Come on,
And
y'all.
we know that pretty much all of them are Trump supporters.
Yeah,
So are there racist undertones there? Absolutely. But again, I
but
feel
it sounds
like
like
those
it's
types of
embedded
conversations,
in the religion. Not even
right.
that they're racist.
I
It's
think that those
embedded in the religion.
conversations need to be handled responsibly. Because let's be clear, Mary, you don't even know whether your son that's living under your roof is married. And like you got some other shit you need to be handling. Say it, Jack.
I'm about to get off of here, or at least put a wig on because
We're about to get off here in about 5 minutes. But I just, again, right. They talked about the misogyny of the church, but they haven't talked about the racism of the church.
in the church, yeah.
And
And
again, I'm not indicting.
Heather was like, yeah, they racist. Heather was I think what I loved the most about the scene, which also was cringeworthy,
It was Whitney.
um,
Okay.
is that Heather was like, yeah, and we racist, do believe, and they
Well, let
are.
me say this. Let's be clear. Um, no religion in this country's hands are clean when it comes to racism. I think that with the Mormon church, because it's so recent, like I mean, we're talking about literally within the last 30 years.
Yeah,
It's you know what I mean. So I think that's the difference. But we can talk about the Catholic Church, which I grew up Catholic. We can talk about the racism within the Catholic Church, Baptist Church, AME. Like we can go down the list. So
yeah.
nobody's hands are clean. And I'm not trying to make it seem like one person's religion is better or worse. I'm just saying because it's so recent and it is embedded in their doctrine. That's the only thing I'm saying. That's all. That's it.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with
Um
religion, so I
Yeah,
can't
I
speak
grew
on
up
that.
Catholic. I was born and raised Catholic, and I went to Catholic school. So,
Heather
there's a
said that the Mormons were racist, and she looked at it and she said, "Oh, yeah, agreed, 100%." And I think that's what was. I mean, it gave the syllable proof for me. Like, girl, you
Jen
know
brought up
what's going
racism.
on.
In my opinion, the only time Jen brought up racism was when it was self-serving for her. I
Oh,
don't believe that Jen ever brought up racism. I think it was always in a way that it was self-serving to her. But that's my opinion.
yeah.
I could be
And I want to be
fine.
clear. I and I think this was the point that Mary was trying to make, but I don't think she was articulate enough. I don't think that Whitney like displays racism or like is overtly racist to like people of color, but you practice a religion that says that, oh, white people are going to be up here and then right under us are going to be the people of color who will serve us, And that's what I think Mary was saying. Well, girl, if that's what you believe in, you're racist. But not that Whitney's out here saying the N-word to people. I don't believe that. I truly don't believe that. I believe she loves people, all people of all races and backgrounds. And I feel like whatever your gender or your sexual identity is, I feel like Whitney is really the most open. But you can't also practice this religion that says, and even Heather, I mean, I guess all the Mormons on the on the chair said white people are first, and then the other people are to help once they get there. You cannot practice this and then not be racist. And I think that's what
That's Tracy.
I think that's what Mary was saying.
All right. That's true, Tracy. She did. I forgot. You right. I think I just be erasing shit that Jen say out her mouth, but whatever. All right, you guys. So listen, we're gonna try to get busy back next Tuesday because next Tuesday is the episode we've been waiting on. We're gonna get the story of how Heather got that black eye. We're gonna get Monica pulling out her burn book, honey, and we are going to deal with it. We are going to deal with it. Okay.
Love that.
Thank you, Busy, for being here. I appreciate you, my love.
I said I would come. Sorry, I was late.
I didn't know he played Dungeons and Dragons. I used to play that when I was little. I don't even remember. Not say little, like younger. I don't even know if I remember anymore how to play Dungeons and Dragons, but it was fun. We used to have a good time with it.
I've only dated nerds. When I started dating men, I only dated nerds, and I hate that for me because they need hours to themselves. He playing right now since 7.
Oh, he plays it online.
Oh yeah. Oh, I wish he would start to have people over there at this house to play this game. They would not be invited.
Go cuddle, and I will talk to you later.
I can't cuddle. He's still playing.
You better listen. You know how to get him off that game.
That's true. But I'm black by popular demand. I mean, I was excited to be here. I love to be here. I'll do anything for Really B. And sorry
you.
about yesterday.
All right. Well, we're gonna talk later. He stood me up yesterday, but we're gonna make it. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna get it together. Don't roll your eyes like I'm lying on you.
That's true.
Goodbye, y'all.